Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jai Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jai Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. I am excited to finally go back live. I was planning on going live yesterday to do the weekly astrology, which I usually do on Mondays, which we didn't do because we had the epic full moon ceremony. But I've been feeling kind of funky. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday I was like, I had no energy. I mean, I know like physically my body's getting ready for my moon cycle, and so I'm just low energy, but I feel like there's so much going on this week that things are moving much slower than expected. And now that the nodes have switched into Taurus and Scorpio, it feels even heavier. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but there's definitely this like intense kind of shift. Like things feel solid for some reason, like it's set in stone. Like now it's time to just like get to work and do the thing that you were going to do, and it's not so much a moment of an energy of like, oh, let's create and like manifest. It's almost like it's time to kind of hunker down and like get ready for the ride, like the long journey. But that's my own, personal, it's kind of how I'm feeling this energy, but it's definitely been really crazy. It's been a little weird. It's kind of hard to kind of put together, like, okay, what does this feel like? I am also getting ready to record and upload the video for the Starseed membership. If you're not in the Starseed membership, make sure you get on it. The video for the whole month of Aquarius has not come out yet. I was going to do the video. There's two videos that are going to be coming out by the end of this week. One of them is the talk about the nodes, like what does it mean, North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio, where those are in your chart, and what that means for the collective. And then the other video is basically the overview of the entire Aquarius season, because also right now the sun is still technically at 29 degrees and 58 minutes of Capricorn. And in literally like 30, 45 minutes, it's going to officially move into Aquarius. So while we're live, the sun is going to move into Aquarius. So together we'll get to feel what that feels like. Literally in like an hour, it's going to be a different energy. So this 29th degree of Capricorn is also feeling kind of heavy. So that's my little report that I have for you guys. But those videos are going to be coming out by the end of this week. And like I said, if you're not in the membership, join it, because you get so much deeper information about all of the stuff that's going on. Let me say hi to everybody that is in the chat. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Mama Ocean. So good to see you here. Chanel, welcome in. Carmelola, welcome. Nelvin, Humble Raw. Valerie, thank you. Hey, Nelly, thank you for being here. Yes. So Mama Ocean says feels heavy. Nelly says feels heavy. Valerie says she's very emotional today. The moon is in Leo today, so that's actually another important thing to remember. Kimberly, how's it going? Oh, you're on vacation. Oh, well, have fun. Go have fun. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Veronica says, I've been feeling so good and energized since the nose shifted. I love it. I love it. That's good news. That's good news. I think because my North Node is in Gemini, that I feel the ending. Like, no, like it just feels like that story has finished. And that was my nodal return. So it's like it was a year of very like stepping into destiny. Now it's a year of like, okay, now let's stabilize the epicness that we created, which can feel like, whoa, like, did you create the right foundation? So that's what I'm feeling is that intensity. But I'm sure it's going to like slowly like ease out of this kind of intense energy that I'm personally feeling right now. Hello, Maricela. Welcome in, and Humble Raw. Welcome in. So that's what's going on. But this show, which is called The Magic of Venus, which we do every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, is all about what Venus is doing this week. And as I was looking at the astrology of the week, the most significant, we've been talking a lot about Venus in Capricorn and Venus going through her major shifts. So now she's officially the morning star. That's another like, whoa, the heaviness of the morning star, right? And how the Mayans used to call the morning star the goddess of war, and the evening star the goddess of love. So you can tell like love and war, like those two energies are at play during that Venus cycle. And right now with the morning star Venus, it's a little more edgy. It's a little more edgy. It's a little bit more earthy. It's a little bit more like real, like raw. That's what I feel with this morning star. And in Capricorn, it's like, whoa, that's like really, really real. You have to just like face the music, face reality head on, and almost like, okay, no more playing around. Right? Like it's no more games. Like now things are serious. And that's another energy that we've been talking about a lot in terms of Venus. And but this week there's actually a couple of things that are happening. So yesterday the nodes switched. In an hour or so, in less than an hour, the sun's going to enter into Aquarius. I can kind of feel that shift a little bit. And then we are literally 2 weeks away from the new moon in Scorpio. And that new moon in Scorpio is going to be the beginning of the moon goddess training, for one, which I'm really excited about. We start officially on the 29th. That's our long day on Saturday. And then we have the new moon happening on a Monday night, January 31st. Depending on where you are, for the Pacific time zone is on the 31st, I believe. However, the February 1st is the traditional day that is celebrated as the Chinese New Year. And so we've got the Chinese New Year coming. It's also Imbolc. And that's going to be, I'm going to announce it when I share the video of the overview of the whole month in the membership. But one of the live events we're going to have is that Tuesday night, it's going to be an Imbolc celebration. So Imbolc is one of the cross quarter days. It's literally right in between winter and spring. So it's like we've made it halfway through winter already. Can you believe that? In 2 weeks, we will have made it halfway through the winter season. Like, I just can't. I can't. There's so much going on. A new moon in Aquarius. It's going to be in Aquarius. Did I say Scorpio? If I said Scorpio, I meant Aquarius. It's Aquarius season, and so the new moon is in Aquarius. But it's the new year, and it's the Chinese New Year of the water tiger. The water tiger. That's so cool. I'm like, oh God, thank God. The water tiger. That's a very sacred, divine, feminine energy. In the, I'm actually going to be pulling animal cards for you guys today. And in this book, the tiger is all about the lunar forces. So the sacred, divine, feminine, the high priestess, the moon goddess. It's perfect to be initiating the moon goddess training on this new moon. And the fact that it's, a powerful new moon in Aquarius. So it's a revolutionary energy. It's an electrifying, it's an awakening. The energy of Aquarius awakens us to new things and invites us to change, like quantumly change, take quantum leaps. And we've been already doing that, but I feel like for us that are going to be coming together for this 8-week journey is going to be such a powerful, motivator and a foundation for which to jump off of, which is going to be so amazing. So that's the other thing that's coming up as well. And so this week in between, let me actually switch on over to the screen and I'll show you guys the chart that I am looking at. But in between this week and next week, there's going to be this really beautiful grand trine between the moon, Venus, and the planet Uranus. And the moon, of course, represents our emotions. Venus represents our deepest desires, what we want. And hey, Joan, and Uranus is that Aquarius energy that I was talking about. It has to do with being okay with change. That's one of the biggest things. And I know we all know this, but change is coming in ways that I don't think we can really comprehend and imagine, especially if we look long term as we move into 2024. So it's a big, big deal. The full moon video was epic. I'm still on day 1 with Matthias. Yeah. So it's going to be that whole Matthias thing. We're going to talk about it more when we get a little closer. But I'm going to be especially in the moon goddess training, we're going to be doing something special that pertains to that global event that is happening February 22nd of 2022. So 222, and there's so many twos. It's like a portal of time and space connected. And so that's the date of this planetary activation. And so you can be a part of it by either going to Egypt, where they're going to do the whole activation at the pyramid and the Sphinx, or you can do it from where you are at by going to one of the closest nodal axis or the lines of the nodes of the planet. And doing the activation from there. And it's literally happening all at the same time. So it's going to be 9 a.m. for me. It'll be 8 a.m. for Pacific time, 11 a.m. for Eastern time. And then you got to kind of work through it from there. But that's the day that they're doing the actual activation. And it's at the Sphinx. They're having a private concert at the Sphinx. And they're going to, I think they're going to broadcast it live. What? For the group that's the ether group. And you don't have to actually pay anything to be in the ether group, but they do need as many people as possible to sign up for this event and do the activation together, because they need the whole planet. They need the whole planet covered. You know what I mean? With the nodes of the planet. And if you watch his videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to bring it down to a little nutshell, you know. I have FOMO. I know, Nelly, I know. So here's the chart for the Grand Trine in Earth, in the element of Earth. to like add to this kind of very earthy energy, we're going to have this Grand Trine. So we've got the moon over here. So when the moon enters 10 degrees, actually, and this is on the 21st, this is on Friday, it's going to make a trine to Uranus. And the trine, you can see it because it's the little blue line there. The next, the other trine is that the moon is making is over here to Venus. So I put 12 and 12, because Venus is at 12 degrees. And then there's that little blue line. But at the same time, this means that Venus is also trining Uranus. And so that's what we call a grand trine. And how significant is it? I mean, it's all interrelated and it's so synchronistic, but Matthias talks about sacred geometry a lot. And this is one of the things that we're going to dive very deep into. Like, you're going to know what an octahedron is, what element it's connected to, why it's connected to that element, how is it related to all of the other 5 platonic solids, and what is the significance to you of the octahedron. We're going to do the same thing for the tetrahedron. What's the significance of it? What does it mean? What element does it represent? The same thing with the cube, the same thing with the icosahedron, and the same thing with the dodecahedron, because these 5 basic shapes basically make up everything in our universe. And you have to understand the big fundamental of the program is to learn how the universe works, and how to access the web, right? How to access that multi-dimensional, what I call the Akashic records, how to access it by understanding how it all works and how you really truly are part of it already. And you have to like connect in that way. An octahedron, a tetrahedron, a cube, an icosahedron, and a dodecahedron. Multipass. Multipass. She knows it's a multipass. Right, exactly. So Matthias talks a lot about these 5 platonic solids, these 5 geometric shapes. And I think it's so synchronistic that this would be like in a triangle would be the representation of like a tetrahedron, which is basically, it looks like a pyramid, but it's got 4 triangular shapes, 4 triangular faces. That's what it's called. And you're also going to know how many faces each of the 5 platonic solids has. What's the significance of that? How many connecting lines do they have? And what's the significance of that? And how many points or like nodes they have? And what's the significance of that? Because in level 2, when we start to really put it all together, you're going to need to know exactly what these shapes represent. Like, they will become something so, you're going to get so comfortable with this information that you're going to like just be like, oh yeah, it's actually much simpler than we think. But that's why we're going to take 8 weeks to really like go deep into understanding who we are, where we come from, why we're here, what are the laws of the universe, how is all this connected, what are the dimensions, like this is fascinating information, and how that can help us step into like our best selves, the life that we have always wanted, to live coherently within our own being. Is you have to know all these things. So basically what it is learning how to, going through the initiation path that they used to do in ancient Atlantis. But this is cool because this is a grand trine, and we've got the moon, our emotions. We've got Uranus, change, unpredictability, revolution, Kundalini activation, innovation, right? Electric energy. The moon is water energy because naturally ruled by the sign of Cancer. Uranus is air because it's ruled by Aquarius. And Venus is what we truly desire in our lives, like what we want, how much do we value ourselves, what's the value that we place on others, and what do we desire in others within relationship. And she naturally rules the element of earth. So we've got earth, water, and air represented here. However, this is all of these planets will be currently in an earth sign. So the moon is going to be actually in Virgo. Uranus is going to be in Taurus, and Venus is going to be in Capricorn. They are the only one that changes faster is the moon. But when the moon comes into Virgo, this alignment, this is on Friday, this alignment is going to sort of highlight these energies. And a grand trine, when you have a grand trine in your chart, it's actually, I think it's cool to experience a grand trine as a transit instead of an aspect in your chart. Although grand trines in your chart can actually say this is where you experience a lot of harmony. We're also going to dive into our astrology chart and our gene keys and our human design, like all these things. Not human design, not as much in level 1. That'll be more for level 2. But to understand your astrology chart is like one of the most important things that you can do to move through, to understand how to live coherently in your life. But this grand trine brings in harmony. It's almost like a moment in time that's going to feel really good, that's going to feel like good and fortunate, positive energy. And a grand trine in Earth, what it actually does is it activates abundance. Think of everything that has to do with the Earth element. It's abundance, like it has to do with money. It has to do with being grounded. It has to do with knowing how to materialize things. It's the earth, actual like Gaia, like the planet. So I think this is a beautiful moment to bring harmony into your life this week. So I'm happy that this is happening, right? And I think that we're all going to feel this sort of little good luck charm that shows up for us on Friday. And what I wanted to do for pulling cards, because there's 3 planets involved, so it's kind of a lot to say like, okay, let's go through each house that this is going to be happening in for you. But I would look at in your chart, if you're familiar with your chart. If not, you can go to astro.com and pull up your chart and notice where the Virgo energy is, because that's where the moon is going to be. So this is happening between 10 and 12 degrees. So where's 10 and 12 degrees of Virgo? Where's 10 through 12 degrees of Taurus? And where's 10 to 12 degrees of Capricorn? And this is where you're going to be feeling this energy. So for example, if this was an actual person's chart, this is a transit chart, it's not exactly a person's chart unless someone's going to be born exactly at this time on Friday, which I'm sure there is. They would have Venus in the first house, which is the house of the self. So focused on the relationship to the self. They would have Uranus in the 4th house of the home, kind of changing things in the house of the home. And then they would have the moon in the 8th house of death, change, and transformation, transmutation, and inheritance as well, like ancestry. So this is the 3 energies, or the 3, this is a trinity, right? This is a trinity. And understanding what trinities are and how significant they are to our lives and understanding ourselves is huge. But it's a trinity that connects together in a harmonious way to bring us a sort of frequency of love. I mean, this could be love too, emotions, compassion, and change. So positive change in our relationships that we're going to feel in a beautiful way emotionally. So that is what is happening this week with Venus. And I'm excited because we've been talking so much about like the one specific thing about Venus, which is basically that she's in Capricorn and she was like doing the star point thing. And now we can talk about some different things, you know, that are happening with Venus. So it's exciting to have this to talk about this week. Now what I want to do, I also want to share with you guys, I designed these new earrings, and I'm going to have them available on the Etsy shop very soon. I'm getting ready to make some bracelets and stuff too. So on one side, it's a flower of life, and it is also, see if it stops spinning or shaking or whatever. So flower of life, and then it's got the serpent on one side, and this is gold-filled jewelry. And on the other side, and I'll tell you what it means in a moment, on the other side, it's got the flower of life, but it's got a little bee. And it was inspired by the whole event that's going on with Matthias. He talked about how we're literally shining, like activating the flower of life. We're shining like the flowers of the planet, the nodes of the planet, which is where like the flowers are. In this, right? The flower of life web that's around the planet, the nodes are basically like the centers of the flowers. So all of the nodes that he talks about that you guys, if you're going to Egypt, are going to be representing is like the center of the flower of life in this spherical web that is a flower of life. I'm going to be teaching about this in the Moon Goddess training, but he said we're going to shine the flowers bright, and the people in Egypt are going to shine bright like the flowers, and they're going to call in the bees. And so there's that little bee that's pollinating, and the bees are going to pollinate our beautiful Mama Gaia flower, the flower of life of our planet, the beautiful web of our planet. And the people that are the group ether are basically like the stems and the roots of the flowers. And that's why you have to go to each of the nodes that the node that you're closest to on the planet, because that is where the root is. We're taking the information that everybody gets in Egypt, and we're grounding it down into on the earth. There's a map that you can look up and see and all that good stuff. Ooh, there we go. There's we kind of got a good one there. Anyways, it's hard to show, but it's actually really, really cool. So talking about the earrings, so we've got the bee that's pollinating the flower of life. And what are the bees? The bees are the beings from the galaxy. The bees are the consciousness from other planets that have already ascended, so that we can call in that we can call it in like, hey, we're ready. We're ready for ascension. We're ready for, to activate these codes. We're planting a seed. This whole entire event is planting of a seed. It's not like overnight everything's going to be different. We're planting the seed for humanity to ascend the planet, to become conscious of what Mama Gaia really is, and the fact that she's really alive. Yes, anchoring the light that she's alive. She's breathing, and we're conscious beings, acknowledging her presence and basically activating our whole entire divinity by activating her. So, and then on the other side, you've got the serpent, which is basically the Kundalini, the Shushumna, the central channel, the activation, right? The Kundalini awakening, the Kundalini activation. When you think of the lotus flower that sits at the top, it's the Kundalini that sits at the root of the spine, coiled up, that wakes up, right? We're going to vibrate, and it's going to wake up and start coming up, and then the flower is going to open, and then the bees are going to come and pollinate it. So if you want to pair, I'm going to have those in my Etsy shop. That was hilarious, but that was a pretty good explanation of that. And that was the inspiration behind these earrings. So they're cool because you don't have the same earring on each side, but you do have the same flower. on each side. So this basically represents like the chakras and the flowers, the load. So this is us. So this one represents us. Like we have the chakras. I mean, the planet does too. And then this is the crown chakra. And then this one represents the planet and the consciousness that will come and be absorbed. So here we go. Let's roll some dice. Oh, I'm going to pull some cards for each of the signs. I actually want to pull one card. And the message that I'm asking is, what is this frequency of harmony that will arrive for you based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising? So the first energy is Aries, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. The frequency that will arrive with this beautiful grand trine that we're going to see this week is the frequency of the hawk. So the hawk, I know, I love that they're not matching either. It feels good actually. So the hawk is the messenger, and to be a messenger means that this week for you is the messages are coming. So you have to do, good evening, Belinda. You have to do whatever feels the best for you to receive the messages. So is it meditation that helps you ground? Is it whatever it is that you do, it doesn't matter. Is it exercise? Is it whatever it is? You have to find your mode of like grounding. Maybe for you it is exercise because Aries energy tends to like exercise. Hiking, being out in nature, just be open to receive powerful messages because the hawk is here to help guide you on that path, to bring you a message, to bring you some kind of an intuitive epiphany, a synchronicity into your life that will help move you along on your spiritual path. All right, so next we've got Taurus, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. Let's see what animal comes out for you. What's this grand trine frequency? Okay, beautiful. So you get the hummingbird. I like how these two beautiful birds come out first. Air energy coming out strongly. But the hummingbird is about seeing the beauty of life and being able to pause and observe the beauty and take in the nectar. Just speaking about pollinating flowers, obviously the hummingbird is similar in that way that he drinks the nectar of the center of the flower, right? You can think of it as, in a symbolic way, this week for you is a week to really take in the nectar of the center of your being, the center of yourself, and to listen to your heart, connect to your heart, and see the beauty that lives all around you, Taurus. I actually think that's so beautiful. Especially because the earth signs are going to feel it a little stronger than the other signs, because it's going to be in one of your signs. One of your signs is going to be like where one of these planets is. So that's very significant. So the hummingbird, it moves fast, but it knows where to find the nectar. Gemini, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You actually got the peacock. So the peacock, this is beautiful. So the peacock, one of the coolest things about the peacock is his feathers. I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it in this picture, but the feathers look like they have little eyes on them. I don't know if you've ever noticed that about peacock feathers, is when they open their tails, like especially like the males that do like the little dance or whatever, they open up their tails and it looks like a bunch of little eyes looking at you. Like it looks like there's a bunch of little eyes like staring at you. And the cool thing about that is that what this says to me, Gemini, is that you are having a moment where you're going to feel your spirit guides, your angels, your teachers watching over you. You're going to feel like you're not alone. You're also going to feel that there's a portal that allows you to peek. You're peeking into an energy. You're peeking into some kind of a time warp or a portal, and you're able to see through to the other side. And the little eyes represent the great eye, right? The eye of Ra, or the eye of Horus, or like the all-seeing eye, which is wisdom, information. It is connected to this makes sense because this is also where the Orion starseeds are in Gemini energy. And so what essentially you're getting is the knowledge. There's knowledge coming through. So you may be inspired to go look for information somewhere. You may be inspired to listen, read a book, listen to some kind of a whatever informational video, like anything that calls you this week, is because it's showing you that you're not alone and you understand the connection of where the true knowledge really comes from. Next, we've got Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. And let's see what comes out for you. Okay. So Cancer, you get the fire ant. So the fire ant, I love that, Belinda. The fire ant is an interesting energy. So I think technically, if you don't bother the fire ants, like they don't do anything, but the sting is what, you focus on. Hello, Sanders, in this message of the fire ant. And it has to do with the fire, the thing that like gets you going. It also has to do with anger. For some reason, this specific card it's almost like, be careful of, if you carry anger around, it's not going to get any easier. It's going to actually get, worse and worse and worse. It's almost like letting all the ants kind of sting you. And so the message of the fire ant is, yes, there's power in the sting, but at the same time, that if it's connected to, if there's something that you're not feeling right about, if there's something that brings up anger or that triggers you this week, it is asking you to avoid that energy, because otherwise it'll take you away from the beauty that is this harmonious moment in the sky. So there's something that may be triggering you this week, or it can also mean, and it depends on where you feel you are in life, it can also be just this, like the power of the sting, however that kind of resonates with you. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Let's see what we got for you. Oh, I was wondering if somebody was going to get this card. This is actually the otter, and it's actually such a cute little picture. Let me show it to you in a second. But otters are super, super cute. They just are. They just have this like sweet energy. This is the image of the otter. So it has to do with the element of water. The otters are also, when you watch them in nature, they're actually really happy. They look like they're just always enjoying themselves. And I think, and they're always kind of playing. They like to play. They're happy. It's almost like this unobstructed joy that kind of shines through them. That's the essence that they bring. So what you're going to feel this week is, it's going to feel like a playful week. And if you haven't done something that is playful, then this card is saying, go do something that feels like you're playing and having fun, because really you're just supposed to have fun through the week, and things are not supposed to be heavy this week. You're supposed to enjoy the process of the unfolding of everything in your life right now, whether you perceive that to be good or bad. What you actually want to do is just make sure that you're enjoying yourself. So if you're not enjoying yourself, what can you do to enjoy yourself a little bit more in your life? Nellie says, so cute. Otter was my grade school mascot. Oh, that's so sweet. All right, let's see what Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising gets. Hello, Noelle. Welcome in. All right, Virgo, you actually get the owl. This makes sense. Ooh, Mama Ocean, that's interesting. So this makes sense because actually the moon is going to be in Virgo during this grand trine. So the opportunity for you is to tap into your intuition this week. The opportunity for you is to understand through the eyes of the owl. What does that mean? The owl is the eagle of the night. The owl can see in the night. That's how it hunts. That's why it's awake at night. That's why you hear it hooting at night, and that's why it hunts at night, because it can see in the darkness. And so there's very much you also can't hear the owl coming. So if you're a little mouse, it's like it literally comes out of nowhere because it doesn't make a sound. The wings are designed in a way that it doesn't make sound or noise when it flies. It's like silent, like you literally can't see it. And what this teaches us is to see through the darkness. It teaches us to be present through the emotional ups and downs that we can experience. But for you, Virgo, this is about tapping into your intuition so that you can understand the emotions that come through. It's also going to mean that intuitively, this week may be a week where you feel that your intuition is actually heightened because of the grand trine and because you're going to be the one that has the moon in Virgo on this day. All right. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. Let's see what animal wants to come through for you. I love it. The buffalo. So the buffalo is the animal of abundance. So when you tap into energy of the buffalo, there's a lot that comes with the buffalo, right? Like there's the prophecy of the white buffalo calf woman, which talks about the children from the stars coming down and seeding the planet with a new consciousness, which is us, right? Which is Matthias and his crew. It's also about sticking together during hard times. That's another thing. The reason it's abundance is, and prayer. It's also prayer. Like pray and be and honor that which comes to you. Honor the abundance that comes to you. Like pray over your food, like honor like where everything comes from, like everything. Because not everyone has it's not that you have to compare yourself to others, but it's just this feeling of honoring where everything, honor the earth and everything that comes from. But they used to hunt the buffalo, right? Before the Native Americans hunted the buffalo, but the Native Americans always respected any animal they hunted. They would they wouldn't waste any part of it. They would use like almost like every part of it, like down to the bones and stuff, and to carve things with, and and so what we have to learn, or the message that comes through this card for you, Libra, is to honor where everything comes from in your life, because there's going to be a lot of abundance, right? Because you are ruled by Venus, and Venus is part of this grand trine, so it will bring forth abundance. You just have to make sure that you are honoring it right back, that you are giving back as well as you are receiving. So receive it, but also honor where it comes from. All right, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. Let's see what wants to come through for you. Oh, this is so sweet. Okay, so you get the dragonfly. The dragonfly. The dragonfly, it represents like dreams in a way. It represents visions. It represents creativity in the form of beautiful, what's the word? I think the word dream really, really kind of encompasses this energy. But the dragonfly can help you remember like your magical essence, right? It's like this. It's like a magical little creature. It actually is known as the master of the light and the master of illusion and the master of the mind. So it's an ancient and ethereal creature, and it awakens a sense of wonder. So this is about getting excited and allowing like new ideas and seeing the magic that is all around you. That's what this week is asking you to do, is to see the magic that lives all around you. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Let's see what we got for you. And you got the earthworm. I actually think this is really cool. So the earthworm is obviously it lives in the earth. So this is a very rooted energy. It's a very rooted energy. It's essentially asking you to, it's like get back to the basics. Get back to the basics. Also, the earthworm can move also kind of slow. So if there's anything that feels like it's holding you back, if there's anything that you've been like reluctant to do, then this is the time to ask yourself, like, where is that kind of reluctant energy coming from? Because you have the capability of actually really having a beautiful experience and actually sharing the wisdom that comes from being so connected to the earth, literally called the earthworm, you know? So it travels through those denser areas. It travels through those denser kind of energies. And so it can feel like it's grounding you. And sometimes it can feel like it's too slow. But the truth is that there is so much wisdom that comes through the earth with this little creature here that you can learn from this week. So do your best to stay grounded is what the earthworm is saying for you, Sagittarius. Next we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. And let's see what Capricorn gets. Ooh, okay. So this is another interesting energy. Capricorn gets the raccoon. So you're going to be so Venus is close to either your sun, your moon, or your own Venus or your rising, right? This is why this is like important energy for you. The raccoon is an interesting animal. It actually knows how to hide really well. And it kind of doesn't lurk in the shadows, but you don't really often see raccoons. You see them also at night, which is also interesting. And it is also about letting your creativity out. The raccoons are very talented in a way, you could say. And so allowing yourself to be creative is really important this week. It's just to allow your creativity to shine through in whatever way. And you may feel shy about it because I think that Capricorn energy can be so focused on the end result that anything that has to do with like play and fun feels like slightly uncomfortable because like things need to happen in a certain way and there's a certain structure around it. And when we veer from that structure, we feel like we're wasting our time. But you're not going to waste your time if you allow your creativity to shine through. In fact, you have to find your own unique way of being creative within the path that you've set out for yourself, that you want to achieve. The goal that you want to achieve is you can be just as creative in that space as you can in like just full on playtime and no work and just play, right? So that's the message for you, is let your creativity shine this week. Next, we have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Oh, thanks, Dawn. So Aquarius, you actually get the Phoenix. This is really powerful. Uranus obviously is involved. Uranus is your ruling planet in terms of it rules Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius rising, this Uranus is your ruling planet. He rules your chart. But Uranus is the activator. And the Phoenix comes because it has gone through the transmutation. It has gone through the transformation, and it's on the other side now. It has been burned by the fire of transformation. It has become ashes, but then it rises from the ashes. So this week for you is a week where you get to symbolically rise from the ashes, to awaken the wisdom that you have been working on, to show you that you actually you've gone far, like you've made it pretty far along your path of whatever it is that you want to achieve. And it's acknowledging that this is happening. And you may actually see some powerful results that maybe you were either waiting to see some kind of confirmation that you're like doing it, or some kind of affirmation that the change that you're experiencing is good change, and also confirmation that when you surrender, that's when the magic really starts to happen, is when you surrender to the shift, to the change. And that's what this week is all about for you. And last but not least, we have Pisces. So let's see what animal comes through for you, Pisces. And again, thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate you guys. So Pisces gets the snake, and also inside of this specific snake is the flower of life. And we started this whole thing talking about like the flower of life and the significance of it, and the fact that we're going to be vibrating at such a frequency to attract the bees that will pollinate through the consciousness of the planet. And so this is a powerful activation, right? The snake this week for you, Pisces, is what I feel is the surrounding of, it's like the understanding of everything that's been going on. This is the higher perspective. It's almost like the Kundalini has awakened. You've risen, right? You're awake. And now you get to the point where this center, the crown chakra opens, the lotus flower opens, and you get to perceive the world through a higher perspective. Say, for example, you're seeing the world through the fifth dimension. You see everything that's going on. You see all the reasons why. You see the reasons why. So this week is going to be a week of understanding the reasons why for a lot of things that have been going on in your life, like putting the pieces together, like the puzzle finally gets put back together. And you understand, like you get some kind of a epiphany or higher perspective on what has been going on. Like, what is all this crazy stuff that's been going on in your life? What does it all mean? What am I supposed to do with it? Why has it been happening? And all of those questions start to be answered and resolved with this energy of the snake. So it's allowing yourself, be like the snake, shed the skin. So whatever it's time to let go of, it's time to let go of. Whatever you're ready to do that's new, whatever new path you're embarking in, it's like you've shed the skin and now you're ready for the next phase. So beautiful and so powerful, Pisces. And that about wraps it up for all of the signs. I know these, I really liked how these cards came out for you guys today. I love that you love that, Noelle. So if you missed your sign, watch the replay, but these are all the cards that came out for you guys. And if you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe and also hit the notification bell. Download my free moon astrology guide that'll tell you what your psychic gifts are, your strengths are based off of your moon sign, which is your intuition and your emotion, your connection to your emotions. And then also check out the Starseed membership and the moon goddess training, which is going to be starting on January 29th. And we're going to go on an epic 8-week journey through the temple initiations of ancient Atlantis and ancient Egypt. And I hope to see you guys there. And I can't wait for for those of you guys that are excited, that are signed up. And I'm so excited for that as well. So you're welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll be back on Friday evening to do, I should be back on Friday to do mini readings. So if you would like a mini reading on Friday, that's when we do those. Other than that, have a beautiful rest of your week. Satnam.